But of course, you know, I had to go get some sorters. I have to, you know, get some other things out, and I'm not really one that wants to like. I'm very careful about how I want to use my resources, and that's mainly the main reason why I'm doing a lot of this micromanaging stuff. Like, I could absolutely set up automation to automatically make sorters for me, to automatically make belts for me, to automatically make, you know, smelters and assemblers and all this other stuff. I could absolutely automate all of that. But I just don't want to set up a dedicated resource line for that when I don't really feel like I know exactly when I'm going to need these things, or all, you know. Honestly, seeing some of the things that Thranx has been doing, I could absolutely see why you would, because at some point you're going to want to expand, and expansion, as you expand more and more, your expansions kind of, they scale up, and you go from needing like 20 assemblers to set up a new expansion to needing like 50 assemblers, and then after that you need like 80 assemblers, and then after that you need like 120 assemblers, and it's just like, oh my god. It gets ridiculous. It truly does get ridiculous. Okay, so now we're getting rid of this line, and we are... Oh, right, I need to get magnetic coils over there. That's right, you need the electric motors and the magnetic coils. And I am forgetting this. This is going to be interesting. I mean, it doesn't affect this side of the line, right? These resources have to get over here no matter what. And I really should probably just move that tower, but I just decided to work around it. I mean, it's fine. I can work around it. It's fine, but it's just like, I really probably should just move it. There's no reason to have to be doing all of this. So I set up the intake for the magnetic coils. I wanted to set up that first, just so I could kind of see, okay, where do I need the line to end there? And I didn't cut it off immediately, but I do cut it off here shortly. So I did figure out the line lengths correctly for everything but the magnetic coils. And then I need to go ahead and set up the output. And okay, good. There is enough space there for me to change the line so that I can actually move the magnetic coils over there. And now I think I'm seeing, oh, I need magnetic coils for the thing here, so I need to move that line so I can get that over there. Yep. So I go ahead and get rid of that. We move that a little bit, and then do I just get rid of all of this? I get rid of that for some reason. I don't really need to. Like that was all entirely unnecessary. Yeah, I could have done that without removing any of that. So why? Well, whatever. At the end of the day, it works. I mean, whatever, Pastbox. These are also the woes of doing post commentary. I know how to do things so much more efficiently, so I look at these and I'm just like, why did you waste your time on all of this? Why did you do that? Oh, that's awful. But yeah, now we should be getting a good amount of, well, a better amount of electromagnetic turbines going. And I think, does this actually back up the electric engine line? Or the electric motor line? I'm not sure if that ever backs up. But I believe I eventually decide, I don't know if I just add an extra assembler to this line, or if I cut the line, but I believe I end up making one of these assemblers that are making electric motors, and I reroute that to a storage just so I can have electric motors if I ever need to like upgrade some stuff. So I can just pull it out of a storage bin. I believe I do that eventually. Don't want to drop my phone here. But yeah, that's a much better line for electric motor production and whatnot. Yeah, that is kind of backed up, isn't it? Those last two electric motor assemblers aren't actually even getting to operate because they're completely backed up. That's unfortunate. I'm also kind of seeing that the last or the extra assembler I made for electric turbines isn't getting to run because it's not getting enough magnetic coils. That's a problem. That is indeed a problem. I wonder if I fixed that problem. Probably not. Knowing me, probably not. Not at this point. Okay, so I'm looking at thrusters, advanced thrusters, because I need to make more drones and whatnot, because I've been putting down hubs like crazy. Matter of fact, I probably need to plug my phone in, yeah. That might be a good idea. Okay, so what am I running around for? What you looking at doing here, Fox? Oh, okay, I'm looking at accumulators, right. Because I believe one of the things that's stopping me from making orbital collectors in order to get hydrogen and deuterium from the gas giant is I actually need full accumulators in order to make the orbital collector itself. And I haven't made any collectors. Okay, and I get copper ingots out of there because I was originally feeding them there, but I really don't need to. Oh, am I going to be bringing... I might be bringing crystal silicon over to this tower. So yeah, I've got enough there. It's set on local supply, so it will supply to my tower if I demand crystal silicon over there. So I'm gonna bring that over. I already have the super magnetic rings, so I'm gonna be making some assemblers over there, I believe. So now I got to run around and gather some of the ingredients that I need to make all of the things for that line. And I think I'm actually mostly just checking on how production is doing over here. It's not doing too badly, but it's not great. I don't know why my nose is getting all stuffed up. Oh, I'm making more. I don't remember doing this at all. What am I doing here? Oh, okay, so I'm making iron ingots so I can supply those. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I don't need a lot of iron ingots for what I'm going to be doing over there, because I'm not going to be making accumulators like full time, full tilt, just going ham on it. That's not really what I'm planning to do. So I mean, yeah, that's fine. This will work. Oh boy. Oh, I got about another hour of post commentary to do here. Oh, I need to stretch. And yeah, after I do this post commentary, I need to eat because I am hungry. I am hungry indeed. Okay, so I'm a little worried about what using that iron for the ingots to supply is doing over here, because I'm looking at this, like, obviously the you know, the iron ore isn't flowing. It's starting to dwindle a little bit. It's going down the line, and I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm kind of hoping it'll back up again, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, no, this is not good. It's definitely going to deplete, and then it's going to cause some problems further down that line. So I'm like, all right, fine. It is time to bite the bullet and just accept that I need to put another miner on this vein. It has to happen. It absolutely has to happen. So I go ahead and do it, and we just, oh, I guess I make some more conveyors because I'm a little low. And we go ahead and put some more iron ore on the line. There's nothing really to do, but to just straight up do it. And I don't know why I don't just connect the line right where it is. I guess because I don't want to back up the line from one of the other miners, right? I want all of the lines to be feeding iron ore here. But that solves the iron ore problem further down the chain, so I don't have to worry about that, or at least I hope it does for the most part. And now I have iron ore that I can, or iron ingots that I can request over here. Okay, so yeah, what I end up doing is I just end up, you know, I end up demanding iron ingots over here. I've got the super magnets over here, and then I just belt the crystal silicon over from the other tower. That's what I end up doing. Okay, my power grid, it's right around 100%. It's not doing too great. Fox should probably address that. I've got a couple of wind turbines I can put down, but not too much. So I don't know if I go put them down right away. I've got a couple left. I've used most of them over on Molten Hell, expanding that power grid. I guess briefly while I'm working on all these other things I can mention, like I said, I initially started this playthrough kind of hoping that I would catch up with Ranks, and then where he was in his playthrough, and then like the audio issues and the editing hit, and like I haven't, even though I played a little bit of Dyson Sphere Program, starting that Infinite Expanse playthrough like I mentioned yesterday. That's the first time that I have actually played Dyson Sphere Program since most of these recording sessions happened back at the end of June. So it is July 12th here. I haven't played Dyson Sphere Program in nearly 2 weeks, essentially, besides that Infinite Expanse playthrough. So I have absolutely no hope of catching up to where Thranks is at this point. I've been watching him stream. He's been doing like, you know, anywhere from like 2 to 6 hour streams almost every day during that time, and woof, he is, compared to where I'm at, he's freaking gone. He is absolutely gone. He's more or less at end game. He's trying to pump out as many white cubes as he possibly can for infinite research. Okay, so now I'm seeing over here, magnet coils are a problem. I need to fix that. But I'm making more wind turbines to fix my power grid first. So, you know, I really wanted to catch up to him. That's not going to happen. I'm not really sure where I was going with that now. I got distracted with the magnet coils thing over there. But yeah, it's been so long since I played this. I have seen so much that Thranks has gone through that a lot of my ideas, a lot of my plans from when I was playing this have actually completely changed. One of which, like I've mentioned, is that I'm going to eventually start shipping all of the things that you see here on Ties Prime over to Molten Hell. And I'm gonna use that as my production center. I'm gonna use that as my main hub for all of the things that are gonna be going on in this system. Another thing was, I initially was kind of opposed to the idea of putting a Dyson Sphere on the starter system's star. And the reason why is because the whole idea of a Dyson Sphere, for the most part, is that you would want it to essentially generate you free power forever. But you want a lot of power, and it's a really expensive thing to make. The Dyson Sphere is not cheap to build by any stretch of the imagination. So you want to get the most out of it that you possibly can, and you get the most out of it by building it around a blue star. I don't know exactly which type of star I want. I don't know if it's an O-type star or if it's like one of the B-type stars or whatever. I'm not sure exactly which type that is, but it's a blue star nonetheless. You want to find one that has as close to 2 times star illumination as possible. And that will give you a lot of power output. So I was thinking I would just get a whole bunch of, I would stockpile a whole bunch of materials that I need. I would do as much research as I possibly could, probably prioritizing research. And I probably still will prioritize research over everything else. But I was going to stockpile a whole bunch of Dyson Sphere material so that when I finally found a star that I did want to build a Dyson Sphere on, I would just be able to ship all of the stuff there and start absolutely crushing it. Like, I was just gonna go full-on mass production, absolutely annihilate the production of that sphere and make it, like, super quickly. Now, I've seen what Thranx has been going through, and he has gone from the point where he was using Dyson Spheres to generate power to apparently Dyson Spheres are necessary. And, oh, okay, so I'm clearing out some stuff here. I guess I'm probably getting some oil here, so I'll go ahead and cut this out, and I will get back to what I was talking about with the Dyson Sphere and what Thranx is doing with them. Alrighty, so we were done cleaning that up. I went ahead and grabbed a couple of things, and now apparently I need to go grab some bricks so I can make an oil extractor and whatnot. So what I was talking about, what Thranx was doing with his Dyson Sphere is now, instead of using his Dyson Spheres for power, he actually switched the ray receivers over to something called photon generation, which was something I didn't know existed and I didn't understand for a very long time. But now I realize what he's doing is with photon generation, you create something called a critical photon. You draw power from the Dyson Sphere in order to create these critical photons, and the critical photons are necessary in order to create antimatter. And antimatter is one of the resources that you need in order to make white cubes, the universe matrices, which are the last research item that you create in order to start doing the infinite levels of, well, they're not actually infinite. As far as we know, they actually do end at like level 10,000, but because they linearly scale in terms of needing more and more research every single level, and they require more and more time to research, they're effectively infinite levels of research. But since you need antimatter for that, like, you actually need Dyson Spheres to be making the critical photons. And he was finding that it was really difficult on the one main planet that he was producing all of his stuff on. He moved all of his stuff to a place he called the Sapphire Flame, I believe it was. I believe that's what he called the system where he was making his science planet. He moved a lot of his science, or all of his science, and pretty much a pretty good amount of his production there. And he built up a really nice Dyson Sphere. Well, it's technically not a sphere. He's more into making artistic designs than actually making a sphere, which is fine. I understand. You know, aesthetics are. I can't deny the importance of aesthetics. I'm just more of a function over form kind of guy myself. But he had a pretty good setup there where his Dyson Sphere was making, like, I want to say it was like 16 gigawatts of power or something like that. And he was drawing a lot of that to his planet, but it was also, he was using a ton of that power so he could make more critical photons. He absolutely needed a lot more critical photons, and he needed that for antimatter so that he could keep doing his universe matrices, his white cubes, for the infinite research. And he was struggling so much on power that he's moving on to making Dyson spheres and a whole bunch of other systems and trying to draw as much power from them to make critical photons that he can ship into his science planet and turn into antimatter. So I realized, I'm like, oh wow, okay, so you want more Dyson spheres on other planets or around other stars, not just because you need power, but really because you need so many critical photons for a lot of other things. Oh, okay, so this is what I'm setting up this for. I was kind of wondering what I was setting this up for. I wasn't paying that close of attention. But we're going to be, creating oil over there where I was setting up that oil extractor and the refineries. And we're going to bring the refined oil over here so I can add it onto this line, because I'm noticing that my oil production is somewhat lacking. So I'm not making acid, so I'm not making any kind of titanium alloy. Not that it's a huge problem. I have a good amount in reserve, and it's not getting chewed through very quickly. But I decided I'm gonna, go ahead and supply over here. We're gonna send the oil over here. We're gonna send, I believe I send hydrogen over here as well. I might, or I might just like throw that all into one massive storage container. But yeah, so like, even on a star like this, where technically the power is slightly under 1 for solar illumination or solar output, even though it's not ideal for power and it's not the ideal place to make a Dyson sphere, like, you probably just need so many Dyson spheres towards endgame so you can constantly be making more and more antimatter for infinite research to step up how quickly you're researching. I can now see the benefit to making a Dyson sphere around your starter system, and in fact I see the benefit to making your first Dyson sphere around the star in your starter system. I can see the benefit of that now. There is definitely a very good reason to do so. I wouldn't say it's for power, but eventually you're going to need that Dyson sphere in order to make critical photons. Because eventually I plan on essentially abandoning this system. What I plan to do, if you think about the star map, right, the actual star map where you're looking at all of the different stars as dots, they're all different systems. What I plan to do is kind of like, almost like a ripple when you drop a stone in a pond. I'm going to start from the center and slowly expand outward, and I'm just going to deplete all of the resources inside, and once the resources are gone, I will expand to another place. Only I'm not really going to expand in a ripple pattern, because then I feel like I would be operating in too many systems at once, and that would be using a lot of warpers potentially because of the way the hubs work. Right now the hubs are not they don't work as well as we would like them to. They're a little funky. They, just because you can't like set priorities, you can't say, hey, I want this product from this station to go to this particular station. They just kind of pull products from wherever you might be supplying them from, and it's just a really weird system. I won't explain it too much because it's really not relevant to what I'm going to be doing, and I imagine, honestly, the system is so efficient, I imagine it's going to get changed quite a bit in the future. I can't imagine that the developer will actually leave it as it is currently working. So now we're setting up the hydrogen. We're just going to send that to a storage for the time being. But I will eventually be shipping that hydrogen out when I start making more deuterium, I want to say. Probably. That's probably what I'm doing with it. I don't actually know, though. I don't know. I'm not sure if I actually have utilized that hydrogen yet. I might not have. But yeah, so my plans are, eventually I'm going to abandon this system for the most part. The only thing that I'll be doing on this particular planet, at least, is probably pumping out water, because not all planets have water. So I'll need the water from here in order to make a couple of things. Not acid. Hopefully I'll find acid that I can just, put pumps in order to pump out acid from an acid ocean and make that infinite, so I don't have to spend oil and water and stone to make that. Hopefully I will find